Hello, we will discuss today single loop circuits. What is meant by single loop circuits? And the first question about the single loop circuits is that what makes the charges flow? We have discussed we have discussed this figure before in the previous lectures that if there is a conductor and if it is not connected to any battery, then there is no current inside this conductor. Although there are free electrons which are moving randomly, but they are not moving in a particular direction, so there is no current. But when you connect to a battery, what happens? We say that the battery provides electric field, and that electric field causes the motion of electron. But in terms of energy, we say that these electrons gain some energy, and all of them have the same energy, and they start moving in a particular direction. So to produce a steady flow of charge, you need a charge pump. You know, a charge pump, it is a device basically which does work on the charge carriers, electron for instance, and that device maintains a potential difference between between the pair of terminals. And such device is called EMF source. We will discuss the EMF source in detail, but the point is here that we need a source of EMF which can pump the charges. Okay, so an EMF device supplies the energy for the motion via the work it does. How? There are different EMF devices. So for example, battery is a device. It is an EMF device, and it powers a wide variety of machines from wristwatches which we fasten on our hands to submarines. Batteries are used in computers and laptops, in your mobiles, and so on. Similarly, electric generator, they are also the devices, and they are the source of EMF, and they create potential difference in our homes and workplaces, and the electricity we see around ourselves in homes and in workplaces, that is due to the electric generators. Similarly, solar cells, which are used in spacecraft in countryside for domestic applications, they are also the source of EMF. Similarly, the fuel cells, which power which the space shuttles, they are used in space shuttles. Similarly, thermopiles, they provide onboard electrical power for some spacecraft. So of course these are least known sources of EMF, and the human beings and the plants, they have also EMF devices, and they are physiological. They are built in our bodies. So all these EMF devices, their modes of operation is different, but they do the same job. What is the job? They provide energy to the charge carriers. They do work on the charge carriers, and thus they maintain a potential difference between their terminals. For example, how will we define these EMFs in a circuit? Just look at this figure. Here you see a source of EMF is connected, which is unknown. We haven't specified that it is a battery, or it is a solar cell, or it is a thermopile, or it is any source of EMF, but we haven't specified it. It is a source of EMF. And you see here is a resistor in this circuit, and the current I, it flows from positive terminal of the battery all the way in the circuit while passing through resistor and come back to the negative terminal of the battery. Sorry, not battery, but it is a source of EMF. It may be battery, it might be something else. So what happens inside the battery? Inside the battery, because when the charges reach here to this terminal of the source of EMF, they are at lower potential. For example, if they are electrons, so they can't move by themselves from lower potential to the higher potential, because we know that the charges always flow from higher potential to the lower potential. But when they get here, they are at lower potential, and they can't move from lower potential to the higher potential. So what happens inside this source of EMF, the source of EMF, which may be a battery for example, it does work on the charge carriers and lift them from low potential to the higher potential. So it is like a pump. A battery works like a pump. So what does a water pump, for example, do? The water pump, it lifts the water from underground, which is very low potential, to the surface of the earth, to the surface of the ground, which is higher potential. So this source of EMF, it lifts the electron from low potential to the higher potential. So in other words, it does work on the electrons. So as a result of the work which is done on the electrons, they gain energy. Okay, and because of that energy, they starts moving from positive terminal to the negative terminal all the way in the circuit. So the number of charges which will be crossing in a cross section of the wire, for example, A dash is a cross section of this wire. The same number of charges will be passing through resistor and through the whole wire, and they will be reaching here. Okay, now the question is, why a battery, if it is a battery, takes the charges from low potential to the higher potential, and what cost it does work? The answer is the chemical in the battery, or a fuel cell for example, and the cost of that chemical, the battery does work. Similarly, if it is an electric generator, as I stated that we haven't specified it, what is it? If it is a mechanical, if it is an electric generator, then the mechanical forces in an electric generator, and the cost of that mechanical force, the charges are lifted from low potential to the higher potential. Similarly, if it is a thermopile, then the temperature difference between two terminals, that is responsible for lifting the charge carrier from low potential to the high potential. That is responsible for the work done. If it is a sun, for example, of course it is not in the circuit, the sun, but if it is a solar cell, then sun does that work. I mean, sun provides energy to the solar cells, and the solar cell does that work. So in any time interval, a charge dq, it will be flowing through a cross section A dash that passes through the cross section of the circuit. We write it that EMF is equal to work done on the charge. So dW over dq. dq is that particular charges which are passing through cross sectional area. So this is the definition of EMF. Keep that in mind. The SI unit for EMF is the joule per coulomb. From the equation, you know, joule is the unit of work, coulomb is the unit of charge. which is equal to volt. We call it volt. So an ideal EMF device is one that lacks any internal resistance to the internal movement of the charges. Okay, as I stated earlier, that the charges move inside the battery or EMF device from negative terminal to the positive terminal. Now, an ideal device will be that which have no internal resistance. It means no resistance for the charges inside the battery. Ideally, if it is the case, then the potential difference between these two terminals, positive and negative, that will be equal to the EMF of the device. But of course, it is in the ideal case. In reality, it doesn't happen so. So the real batteries have some internal resistance, and when the battery is connected to a circuit, then the potential difference between its terminal is equal to its EMF. When the battery is not connected to the circuit, I think I stated the other way around. When the batteries are not connected to the circuit, when it is just lying in isolation, then we say that the EMF and the potential difference between its terminal is equal. I'm talking about the real batteries. But when you connect it to a circuit, since they have some internal resistance, then the EMF is greater than the potential difference between the two terminals, because they have some resistance, and due to that resistance, a fraction of its voltage drops inside the battery. Now look here, this is a single loop circuit. Here are two batteries, one is A, the other is B, and we say both are rechargeable batteries. So you see the direction of EMF, these red arrows, it always go from negative towards positive, because these arrows show that charge carriers are lifted from low potential to the high potential. And here you see, here is a resistor and here is a motor. It does the mechanical work. So the eye shows the flow of charges, that they are moving counterclockwise. But the question is that battery A drives the charges from negative towards positive, and they should move in this way. Excuse me. And the battery B drives the flow of charges, drives the charges from negative towards positive, and they are moving counterclockwise. So both batteries move the charges in opposite directions. Battery B moves the charges in this direction, clockwise, and battery E moves the charges in this direction, clockwise. And you see that it has a particular direction, I. So this shows that the battery B is powerful than battery A. It means the battery B produces more EMF than the battery A. Okay, so when the charges are pumped inside the battery B, they start moving in this direction. Hence, this is a current. That current, when it passes through the R, a resistor, you know, when the current passes through a resistor, the temperature arises, and we say that some of the voltage drops when it is moving through a resistor. Okay, then when the current flows from positive towards negative, Now look, inside the battery A, the source of the EMF, the electrons are pumped from negative towards positive. But here the charges flow and they are moved from positive towards negative. So, inside this source of EMF, what happens? It is charged. This battery is charged. Battery A is charged. Because when the electrons are pumped from negative towards positive, the battery is discharged. The charges are lifted at the cost of the source of the EMF. For example, chemical inside a battery. But when the charges are reaching to the positive terminal and they are passing from positive towards negative, so the battery is charging. It is charged. So a part of the potential difference of the B, it dissipates here in R resistor, and a part of the EMF of the B charges the battery A, and the remaining one that comes here and mechanical work is done. Here is a motor. The potential difference which is left, and that cost the work is done. So we represent it like this one. This is the chemical energy lost by B, battery B. So it is the energy which is lost in B, it is used in three places. One is resistor, dissipates here, battery A is charged, and work is done here. Here it is shown, thermal energy produced by resistance R, but it is lost, okay, it is irrecoverable, that is gone. And chemical energy stored in A, and work done by motor on mass M. Hope this is clear. Thank you very much.